I wanted to ask you because fitness is a very general term,
Yeah.
right? And I think everyone has a different perception or a different idea of what that means. So, in your words, how would you describe fitness to someone? Let's say I'm a new guy. I'm like,
Yeah.
I want to get fit. What does that mean?
So what we do, or what we believe our definition of fitness is movement, it's lifestyle, it's mindset, it's your all the what's the word I'm looking for? All the holistic approaches to fitness as well. Is the training we do in the gym is fairly difficult, but that's just an hour of your day. So we facilitate training and we facilitate hard work and we facilitate the opportunities for people to make progress with their fitness. But then outside of that as well is you've got to consider like what's your sleep patterns like, what's your nutrition like, how are you de-stressing enough from work, and take all these other facts into consideration. And that's what we try and the message we try and relay with Base 3 is that is we want to be like, a lot of gyms say it's the best hour of your day, come in like have the best hour of your day there. We want to be the best thing about that person's life. We want to improve people's life by affecting them in other areas as well. And the fitness industry itself is this huge thing, and there's so many options. You've got different types of classes like personal training, running clubs, cycling, hiking, all these different things. And going to the gym's actually a very small piece of that. Like what we do in the fitness industry, this huge circle, is well, like if it's a pie chart, like a very small piece of that pie chart. And within that very small piece, the type of training we do, we're one of like 1,000 gyms that do a very similar thing. So the training itself is a very small part of it, and it's not really unique. What we try and differentiate ourselves, how we try and differentiate ourselves, is the care and attention that we put into the other areas as well, making sure people, do you have goals? What are your goals? Are you achieving your goals? We want to make sure you're making the progress you want to be making as well, and not just come to the gym and do whatever we say. And we had this conversation with all our coaches before. It's like, why are we different? What's different from us and all the other gyms? It's like we genuinely care. Like we have team meetings and we talk about, oh, this person's not in the gym this week because he hurt his ankle, or this person we know is away for 2 weeks, and all these factors that we care about the rest of people's life as well. So that kind of doesn't answer your question entirely, but I just think for us is we want to look at fitness as a full picture, not just like that hour of gym going to the gym.
Yeah. And I think that's a very interesting point that you mentioned, because for me, for example, I've been training for the last few years, and I've been as consistent as I can be, going to the gym 4 times a week. But what you said really resonated with me, because it's all those other areas that I think I've been either lacking or I'm not paying enough attention to, things like sleep, things like nutrition. And when you go to the gym and you put in a good workout, you feel like, I feel like I've done enough. But maybe at the beginning, when you're first starting, you'll see really big results. But when you've been consistent for some time, you start to realize that that's not gonna cut it anymore.
Yeah, we call them the newbie gains. When you're new to it, you start making massive progress towards the start.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So how do you start, I guess, influencing people and helping them in the other areas? How do you, because like you said, the gym's a small part, so you can come into the gym, you can have your workout. So what do you do? What's the work you do outside of that training that you can start helping people be consistent in achieving the goals?
A lot of it's just conversations. It's asking people what it is you want, because most people will come to the gym with a goal, and a lot of gyms won't. If you're working one-on-one, you'd always expect the trainer to be like, what is it you're working towards? Why have you come here? How can we help you? But then with group fitness, it's kind of just turn up, here's your hour of training, see you tomorrow. Is having the conversations. So our sign up process is very important for us to have the conversations with people. Is just like, well, what is it you're looking to achieve, or why is that important to you? Engage that, and then try and guide them on that way. Because if someone comes in and like, I really want to lose body fat, for example, cool, you're committed to doing 5 hours of training a week, you've fixed your diet, but then their sleep pattern's horrendous. That will be limiting from achieving their goals. And until you have that conversation, you're never going to understand, and they might not understand, because we'll have the conversation and be like, well, you're only having 3 hours sleep a night. You're probably going to not be able to hit that goal. Even if you train really hard and eat really well, you're probably going to still miss the target. And people don't know that all these other factors play such a big part in making progress in the gym. So it's having the conversations, and then the other one is creating the accountability. Like if I ask you, what limits you from being able to achieve, or what would you define success in your goals? Like when would we achieve that? And then you say, well, I would, when I've lost 10 kgs, that'll be me. I'll be happy. Cool. In order to do that for the next X amount of months, we need to do this, that, and that. And put that back on you, and you've got to do it, but I'm going to check in and make sure you're accountable. That's a great way to do it. Is people need accountability, and a lot of people are very self-motivated and can kind of have this goal and then be fixed on it, and they can make the progress themselves. But having someone there to guide you and check in, even if it's not been like very dual sided, it's just like, hey man, how's that going? Or knowing that you've got to check in with someone, just having the accountability will go a long way.
Yeah. So being able to, it sounds like from what you're saying is creating as personable a relationship as possible with your clients to help ensure that they reach the success that they want to achieve. And because you know how a lot of times, let's say I came to the gym, me and you're working together, I want to lose 5 kilos. Fine. We put in a program, I lose those kilos. This is the thing that I find, I guess, more difficult or interesting is I can achieve that goal, but now I've achieved that goal. How do I start ensuring that this is my new way of life? Do you understand what I mean? To keep that consistent, because you can achieve a goal and then in a month's time with just losing all those habits, you can easily go back to where you started.
For sure. It's like when someone like wins Olympic gold medal, the next day is like, you've had people athletes say it before, it's like the most depressing day of their life is the day afterwards, because they're like, oh, I've got the goal, like what now? And obviously losing like 5 kg is not going to be as overwhelming as that, but I think you need to connect to why the goal is important. And you can have a goal, but that's like a kind of a small training objective. And all small goals are training objectives that are going to take you towards your bigger why.
Yes.
And then when someone understands their why, their reasons for committing to staying fit and healthy or staying in shape is so much more powerful. So the example for me is I used to train when I was young. I used to train because I wanted to post on social media to show people that I'm a good coach, because if I can do this for myself, I can get really strong, or I can do this many reps of a certain movement, people are going to respect me as a coach and a trainer and will come and train with me.
Yeah.
And I realized, because then I'd have a bad training day and it's fine because I could just not post it. And it didn't happen, doesn't matter. And and then I had no motivation or no reason to go to the gym and work hard the next day.
Yeah.
And it was a very shallow motivation. And then I started working more with people. When I opened our gym, for me, my motivation for training became, I'm going to ask these people to work really hard and do things that are going to make them uncomfortable. And if I'm going to ask people to do that, I have to be able to show them that I'm doing and willing to do it myself. And then for me, when I realized that, it was very powerful motivation. So it doesn't matter for me whether my goal is to like run this distance in this time or lift this much weight or commit to whatever program. Is if I say I'm going to do it and I'm going to ask other people to do it, then I'm going to have to prove myself and do it. And for me, that's a very powerful reason. So I think getting people to understand why they want that goal, and like it could be something like, I want to lose body fat. Why do you want to lose body fat? And they might be not have much confidence taking their shot off at the beach, or they may feel like it would improve their relationship with their spouse if they look better. And that's going to be a much more powerful reason if you can get someone to unlock that, to keep them focused on working towards the goals.
Yeah, I think what you said is so true about the why and the motivation for why you're doing this, why are you getting up, why are you going to the gym, why are you putting in all this work to get that. And because I think, like you said, it creates an emotional response, like an emotional motivation, and emotion is what I think drives all of us and then whatever goals that we're trying to achieve.
Yeah.
So in your experience working with clients and so on, what seems to be the most challenging thing or the big thing that people tend to fail at the most? Because I think you can be consistent, but maybe is it developing that right mindset?
Yeah.
Is that I think that could be it.
Yeah, I think that's a lot of it. And again, what we said earlier about understanding the benefits of the outside stuff and putting as much importance on the outside stuff as the inside stuff is, I can't remember who there's like a famous coach who talks about it, and I will kill me when I remember later, but working out and then working in is working on your inside, your mindset and all that stuff outside the gym. So like we said, get enough sleep, eating enough food. And I think people who have hurdles and setbacks and don't commit to programs and don't commit to workout plans, it's because they're not seeing the progress. So then other areas, like say, if I'm not sleeping, I'm not going to be improving my performance. And then because they're not improving performance, they put it down to the gym, or they're not working out, or the program's not working. So they change to something else versus committing to the hard work and staying focused on the program and giving it enough time to see change and then improving these other areas of their life as well. Yeah. That'd probably be the biggest one. And I think a lot of that comes from, again, people not understanding is, as fitness professionals, well, this matters, this matters, this matters. Whereas if you're just going to the gym, like, well, I'm working out, why is it not working? And not taking all these other factors into consideration.
Yeah. So like you said, the other factors seem to play a much bigger role than just, being able to come to the gym and be consistent with all that training.
Yeah.